If you clicked on this video, it means that probably you are interested in either content creation or making money. And that is where I also started. I remember watching content about how to generate money and how to start content creation. Now I'm kinda on this journey for 2 years now, and I want to give you some tips and hacks of actually how I did this. And I guarantee to you right now that if you watch this video, you're going to get some very good insights about how you can do this. And no, it's not a $997 course. I hate those types. So if you're interested in it, so let us go. So let us go and do our first step. We have to understand what is content creation and money making. Well, content creation, this is the distribution of a content on a platform for the viewer with an identified goal/incentive of the creator. Now this was the thing which I spent 2 literal months of actually explaining, because I have not a time have I heard anyone in the world tell me what is content creation. So this is how I identify content creation. Now this is really easy to understand. But what is making money? Well, making money is the act of alleviating pain. If someone, this person has pain, and you, this person, have a solution to that pain, if you give that product to that person who has a pain, and that is the solution for them, they are going to give you money. This is the basis of making money. Now, second step for us, how I made my money. Well, I've had an agency which I was running from my personal brand. One of the core things was that I have closed free clients with less than 300 followers. I had 200 and something followers, and I've posted one of my videos, and from that I've got 2 clients or something like that. I don't remember, it was almost a year ago. So I had also a low ticket community which failed because of school, because I didn't have time to run it actually. Then I became a manager. I became a manager of a 2 million follower personal brand, and I'm on a journey for building a huge business where I help coaches, content creators, these people with content creation, because this is the problem I see in the world, which is the lack of education about content creation. I want to solve this problem. So actually this was the second step of how I made my money. So this is how I made it. There's a ton of things which I'm going to go into detail in the next videos. So first step, what can I teach you? Well, I want to go and talk about the foundation for success. Well, what do you need in order to go from zero to hero? The second is foundation for growth. Like, what do you need to do in order to go and grow from a low, like, money making thing to something bigger? What you need to understand. And tips for online presence. So let us go to the foundation for success. What is the foundation for success? Well, the first thing is a goal. The goal is our star. This is the thing which we cannot leave. This is what we are thinking all day, every day. This must be done. This must be created. And actually, why? Because if you don't have a goal, you don't even know what to do. So here you are in your current state. This is you. And you want to go here to your desired outcome. And this is your goal, your desired outcome. Now think about that this doesn't exist. If this doesn't exist, you don't know what way to go, what is the right path for you, what is the right journey. And you don't even know what kind of steps to take to go there. So if you don't have a goal, actually you are not achievable. You cannot even get success. You are not able to achieve success, because how you can understand success is achieving goal. So if you don't have goal, well, you can be successful. So the foundation for success is having a goal. This is the first step for actually being successful. Second step is pain. Now this is something totally different, but you will understand it in a minute. So what is actually pain? Well, pain not in the form of cutting yourself, like this is your hand and cutting it. That is not a good way of doing pain. In the way of psychological pain. And what do I mean here? Now, as you want to be successful, you will have your goal, which is something bigger than you. In the problem which you're going to run is that there is hard work to do to achieve it. So you have to, I don't know, do outreach, you have to do content, you have to do anything which is hard and actually not easy to do. So what you're going to meet with is this. You have psychological pain. If you do it, you will go through this pain, but if not, then you will not achieve your success. What is really important here is this simple thing. Actually love the things which is correlated with pain. Because there is the really good explanation what I heard from Charlie Morgan, which is, if you have a goal and you want to reach that goal, the universe or the God or anyone who you believe in is going to give you this goal if you have something to pay for it. And what is the thing which you can pay with is pain. So if I want to reach the goal of 10k per month, I have to do some specific painful actions in psychological form to achieve it. If I don't do it, well, I'm not going to achieve it. So this is the simple reason why you need pain. And if I would be much younger, this would be one of the core foundational steps which I would take, is love these activities which are correlated with psychological pain. So not being depressed or something like that, but if I know I don't want to do something, I'm doing it. If I don't want to go to the gym, well, I wake up and I go to the gym. If I don't want to wake up in the morning, well, I wake up and I go and do my stuff. The psychological pain which I'm going to meet with my head. This is the second really important thing to actually achieving success. Now, what is the third one? That is discipline. Now, what do I mean with discipline? Well, you can love or don't love pain, but without discipline, you're not going to go far. And why do I say that? Because if you truly rely on motivation, then you're going to lose. Because motivation comes and goes. Motivation fluctuates like this. This is not good for us. We want consistent input in order to reach this goal, which is your success. What you need to do is be disciplined. Now, how can you be disciplined? Well, there's a really easy way to do it. I'm going to tell you how. Because when you think about it, like you simply think about you are going to reach your goal. You put up a goal and you think about it, you have a goal, you have this doubt, like, am I able to achieve it? And this doubt is very bad and you have to remove this. How can you remove this? Is by having discipline. Now, what do I mean? Well, discipline is not having or not having discipline, but how good discipline you have from a 0 or 1 to 100 level. So, if you have a 100 level discipline, then if you're going to say that you're going to reach something, then you're going to reach it. It's not a question. Now, if you have a 1 level discipline, then if you say that I'm going to go to the gym in this morning, then most likely you're not going to go to the gym. How this works is that if you think about it like a video game, if there is a boss on, I don't know, level 20 or 30, which is going to the gym every day, this is the boss, then if you're at level 1, you're not going to beat this. You're not going to win over this disciplinary thing. What you need to do is build up your discipline. Shake hands with yourself. And I did this and I'm much more secure about my mindset when thinking about goals. So how this works is that, let's say you wake up, say to yourself that I'm going to make my bed, and you make your bed. Then say to yourself that I'm going to go into the gym at 6 p.m. Then you're going to be in the gym at 6 p.m. Or anything. Like, what you're going to say do it. Because if you're not doing it, then your discipline level is going to go down. And if your discipline level goes down, what is going to happen is that you don't believe your own words. Because if you right now say to yourself that today I'm going to run, and you kind of don't believe yourself because you're not going to run. So what you have to say is, today I'm going to run, and go for a run. Go to 1 kilometer, but run. And you're going to build this discipline up, and when you think about it, I'm going to reach 10k per month, your mind is thinking about, I'm going to reach 10k per month. It's not about, well, I don't believe in 10k per month, I can reach 10k per month. It's going to think how you're going to reach 10k per month. And this is one of the hacks of actually achieving your goals, having this disciplined mind when you can just say what you want to do and you're going to achieve it. This is really easy, but it's really important. Now, this was the first thing for your success. Build up that discipline level to the max. The third is delayed gratification. Building a business is hard, and for doing anything, gratification. Doing anything which is worth in life is hard. So how can you do it? Well, delayed gratification. What is this? Is when you put a cause to effect, you're not in need of the results. So if right now I go to the gym, even though I'm going to have a pump, I'm not going to see the results of me going to the gym, but at least for 6 months. Or this was an example. Like, there's time which has to pass in order to see the results. And as much you can delay this time from actually the cause into the result, you are going to build this delayed gratification, because most likely people are not willing to do things because of not actually doing delayed gratification. So most people can't sit down and read a book. Why? Because they are not ready for the delayed gratification which is going to come from the book. If you read a book, you're not going to make more money that moment. You're not going to do different things at that moment. What you're going to do is build up your knowledge in a long period of time. So this is delayed gratification. Like delaying how much time you need for gratification. So as much time you can delay this gratification thing, the better you're actually going to be at building anything and doing something great in life. And this is, I think, the foundation for success, because if you don't practice these and understand these or have these, then I think it's much harder to achieve your goals. Now, what is the foundation for growth? Compound interest. I think Einstein said it like, the compound interest is the 7th or 8th wonder of the world. What is compound interest? Well, when you're putting causes to effect every single day, and on a long period of time it's going to build up. So compound interest works like this. It's an exponential curve. If you do the same thing every day, you're not going to see the results that day, but it's going to build up slowly, and after the time it's going to go up like this. So there is this cause which you put, and there is an effect. So the smaller cause, you're going to have a bigger effect on the long period of time because of compound interest. You most likely have seen some kind of videos like this where they're explaining how $1 can turn into millions of dollars by doubling it every day. Yes, it can, because of the simple compound interest. This is how it's works. So this is the compound interest. For growth, you have to understand this. You cannot be thinking about, if I do this right now, what is going to happen? But you have to think about, if I do this on a long period of time, what is going to happen? So do not focus on the daily inputs in the form of what is the result, but focus on the later effect which you're going to have by it. So this is basically a similar delayed gratification. Now, mental frameworks. What is this? Well, I have learned about this in this year, in 2024, but it changed my life. So there's a ton of different mental frameworks that rich people and every person who is actually successful using. And critical thinking, for example, how these things work is that you are going to use this thinking model or way of thinking to solve some kind of problem. So one of the first thing is critical thinking, which is very important. Then we have first principles. Critical thinking is when you critically think through something, an argument or anything. There's a ton of really good ways how you can do it, but I have a six-step method for it. First is remove yourself. Second is going to be identify objects. Third is going to be identify relationship. Fourth is going to be identify timeline. Fifth is going to be remove emotion. And sixth is going to be remove loops. So as you have seen here up, this is basically critical thinking when I break it down into objects and how they relate to each other. So content here is an object. Also platform is an object, and all of these are objects and how these relate with each other. Now first principles are almost the same, because first principles is when you break things down into smart parts which cannot be further questioned. So we can come here and understand that these are some first principles, but not enough. For example, I can still answer like what is a creator, or what is a content, or what is a platform, but these first principles cannot be further questioned. For example, like in psychology there is the first principle of pain avoidance that cannot be further questioned. So a lot of motive for our acts is pain avoidance. And there's a ton of more. Second order consequences, non-binary thinking, Socratic reasoning, obliquity, inversion. What is still? There's a ton more here which can come into play. And learning all of these and understanding how this works. For example, Hegel's dialectic for the thesis, antithesis, synthesis, which will turn into a thesis, and antithesis and synthesis, and it's going to go. And there's a ton more here. So learning these were crucial for my growth. So I was able to grow because I could interpret information in a different way. So I was not just thinking about, oh, information, great, come here. No. Critically think through what is the information you're observing, what is the thing which you're thinking about. And this way you're going to have a much better understanding of how actually the world works. Now, for growth, the first thing is the right information, the right people. Right information is very important for you because of systems thinking. That is also another thinking model, and this is what you get in is what you get out. Basically, this is systems thinking. In, input, this is process, output, and feedback loop, XYZ. I'm going to write here feedback. How this works is that what is the input is going to be the output going through a process. So what the information you're going to get in to yourself is going to be the output of your reality. So if you only consume information about cars, well, you're only going to think about cars. But if you only consume information about business and entrepreneurship and content creation, XYZ, you're going to only think about and look at this, like in that form. So what is really important is focusing on the right information, in the right input for yourself. Now, This is with information, but not with only information, but with people. So birds with the same flock, no, birds with the same feather flock together. This is a really good quote which explains how in systems thinking, if the input, which is your friends, are damn bad, well, you're going to actually be a damn bad friend. So you know what I mean. So if you have alcoholic friends, most likely you're going to drink alcohol. If you have friends who are smoking, then you're most likely going to smoke because of systems thinking. Input is what is going to create the output. So cut out the bad stuff. We don't need that. That is basic for us. Next thing, tips for online presence. So what could this be? Firstly, we have to be viewer centric. Now what is this? So the companies who are all big and successful, they have almost all of them focused only on the consumer. So what does this consumer gets when I do something? So everything they do is questioned by the question of, does the consumer get something out of it? And this is the same thing here. If the consumer is watching or the viewer is watching this video, will they get something out of it? Either did they learn something? Did they get some kind of value? Or either did they went and laughed, like I have provided them with funny things and they have had a good time. That is also value for them. But did the people who are actually in need or watching your content got something from it? Because if not, then that is not good for us. This is the first tip for online presence. Always think about the viewer. Second, inversion. This is also a mental framework which we can actually use here. And how it works is that if this is your niche, which you are in, and these dots represent a person, all who are in this niche, and most likely they are all similar or they are all looking the same, how can you actually stand out from this niche is being different. So using the inversion model, thinking model, to be different. So if these people are black dots, no racism here, then how can you be something different, for example, red dot? So if you are standing out from the niche, then what is going to happen is that you are going to be much likely getting all the attention. Now I have did a video about this. You can watch that. That was the last video, I think, or something like that. Feedback loop. What is feedback loop? Now the feedback loop is in systems thinking how input, process, output. This is the feedback loop here. Input, output, process, and feedback loop. Now, why this is important for us is that if you input a piece of content, what you're going to get is views as an output. Now, if you put in a piece of content and you don't get views, then you can use that as feedback. How this feedback loop works is that from the output you can track back and analyze it and get back into the input. So what you can do is analyze your videos and actually understand what is happening and create better content in order to get more views. So if you have you have posted 100 videos and you have tracked how they have performed, well, you can easily see what kind of ideas had a better results. So you can just go and improve on that idea and you can have better views. So this is basically the feedback loop of understanding your content creation by analyzing it and making it better. Now, this comes here with the do not stop thing, because this works if the data is as big as possible. Because of compound interest, we have talked about it, feedback loops work very greatly if you have a big data sheet, if big data or you have which you can implement. Now, why this is really important is that if you do not stop content creation on the long time horizon, you're going to win. There is no there's no way of you are not actually winning if you have a feedback loop implemented. If you have a feedback loop which is analyzing your own video, analyzing how it performed, and actually tracking it, then there is no way of actually you on improving on all of these videos, you're not going to achieve the success you have dreamt of. This is not a question. This is a question of time, because time is going to make us win in this and not some kind of hacks of how can you get views. So this is how you can be better at creating content online. I hope I could give you some value here. Next thing for us is to thank me. I have to thank you for watching this video, because I'm very grateful you have watched it and you have actually spent the time to consume something better than 5-second shorts. Thank you so much for your watch time. And now I'm here to tell you something, or to sell you something, which is like, if you're an agency owner, content creator, coach, consultant, team page owner, or anyone related to content creation, like anyone who is creating organic content, let me alleviate your pain and help you generate more views and generate more money. What you need to do is click and check the first link in the description below, and I will see you there.